Greetings, and thanks for coming along again. My name is Daniel Ray. I am a staff apologist with Watchman Fellowship in Arlington, Texas, and this is going to be just a brief review about street epistemology, policies, and procedures. We're going to take a look at a post made March 31st by Anthony Magnabosco, who is the Executive Director of Street Epistemology International. Now, over the course of my engagement with street epistemology, many street epistemologists have told me more than once that there is no pope of street epistemology, that there are no doctrines or rules one must follow to practice SE. Some have said you can define SE however you wish, and one moderator on the SE Discord server even told me they made up their own definition of street epistemology. Within the SE community, which is made up of mostly atheists and skeptics, there is a wide variety of views and opinions about what street epistemology is and how it should be practiced. Street Epistemology International, along with a handful of volunteers and Anthony Magnabosco, are attempting to clear up some of this confusion and ambiguity. From the Street Epistemology International website, this is what Anthony posted on March 31st. 2022 Board Policies Community Course. He says that we are developing new policies and procedures while making progress to expand our board. As for the policies and procedures, they hope to implement a code of conduct for board members and volunteers who represent Street Epistemology International. And they're also drafting procedures to help ensure that the specific tasks they conduct are clearly laid out. And with regards to the street epistemology community, Anthony here is concerned about fan-managed in-person or online SE community groups. He wants to hold a couple of working sessions with representatives from each of these in the coming weeks and encourages anyone to reach out to Street Epistemology International if they are a part of these communities. And they want to do this in order to perhaps clarify the relationship between SEI and the social media groups, offering clearer guidelines, which they think could help make managing these communities a bit easier for those involved and result in a more positive experience for those who join them. I have a couple of videos about being in the street epistemology community. I will link those in the video notes below. Anthony and Street Epistemology are creating a self-directed course that they hope will become the foundation for all sorts of other training resources. They are close to releasing Module 1, What is Street Epistemology, to the public, and they believe it will provide the clearest definition of the term street epistemology to date. And they hope that this module, these definitions, they want to ensure its broader adoption into the SE community and beyond. And Street Epistemology International is also funding the purchase of more equipment for a few people who help promote SE. And this is signed Anthony Magnabosco, Executive Director, Street Epistemology International, on March 31st, 2022. A couple of implications from what Anthony has said. There seems to be an issue of the control of street epistemology social media on Reddit and Facebook and Discord and YouTube, and there are other social media platforms where people do use street epistemology. And so the question is, how will Street Epistemology International enforce the definitions or codes of conduct, and how will they have oversight of these social media sites? That will be an interesting development to watch. So it seems that the street epistemology policies, procedures, and definitions, they want those to become the foundation for training resources for future SE endeavors. So it seems one could infer that Street Epistemology International and Anthony Magnabosco would like to see one unified definition of street epistemology from which all other training and resources and practices come. So it does seem to be that there is a doctrine shaping up by a particular leader in the street epistemology community. And again, how is the board of SEI going to enforce these codes of conduct or definitions and procedures, especially when it comes to social media groups? What are the main goals of SEI? They're listed right there on the webpage. And it is to encourage and normalize critical thinking and skepticism. That's right there on the Street Epistemology International.org webpage. You can see my other video on who defines street epistemology on the channel here, and I will link that in the description notes below. So given Anthony's recent post, I would ask any street epistemologist how they feel about Anthony and SEI laying out these policies and procedures. Do they need Anthony or street epistemology to tell them how to have conversations with others? Will people still be able to define and practice SE however they wish? By the SEI mission statement, street epistemology is not just a neutral conversation technique for exploring ideas. According to SEI, SE is an attempt to promote skepticism. Why not have promote truth as part of the mission statement? There is no skepticism or critical thinking without truth. I'm all for skepticism and critical thinking, but that requires a standard of truth. So how do street epistemologists, how would SEI define truth? So if you find yourself in a conversation with a street epistemologist, ask them to define and clarify what they think truth is. They may say something like, truth is that which corresponds to reality. Okay, but they may not venture much detail beyond that statement. So ask them to be specific in their explanations and definitions they offer about what they believe reality is. For them, does reality contain only the physical, tangible world? Or are there non-tangible, non-physical aspects to their definition of reality? Ask them how they know. And briefly, for me, I always try to offer what I believe in my videos, and this is just a very simple statement. I believe reality is the creation of Christ Jesus the Lord. Yahweh incarnate, the God of the Old Testament, becomes a man. He is the Son of the living God in the New Testament, the way, the truth, and the life. Reality is as he created it and defines it. Truth is in accordance with who Jesus is and what Jesus says. Truth is his very nature. All truth is God's truth. So if you're interested in having a private discussion about SE critiques, about SE, about skepticism, or any of my beliefs about God, you can drop me a line at my public email, psalm1968@gmail.com, and we can set up an hour or so on Zoom, and I'll be happy to chat with you.